Today, I want to walk you through the exact process I use to help some members of my community lose weight, gain energy, and prevent or even improve their chronic conditions, all using a sustainable system based on the Mediterranean lifestyle. And if you've ever heard anything about the Mediterranean diet, you'll know that this is not a crash diet, and it isn't a supplement. It's not some new app that helps you track your macros, and it's certainly not a trend or any health hack. It is a lifestyle approach that is grounded in science, real food, and how people in the healthiest regions of the world have lived day after day for centuries. And in this video, I'll share with you some of the core steps of that process so that you can understand why you may have been stuck and what you can do about it. Now, if you feel like your body is working against you, like you're tired all the time, or you're gaining weight too easily, you're struggling to maintain your blood sugar or your blood pressure, or you're just feeling off all the time, I want you to know something really important. You are not alone. Because more than 7 out of 10 adults in the United States are now overweight or obese. And additionally, more than 60% have at least one chronic condition. And these are not just numbers. These are people's lives, people like you. People are waking up every day and they're in pain. Maybe it's back pain, joint pain, you name it. Maybe it's people living with brain fog, fatigue, or they need multiple medications just to stay safe. And maybe it's people missing out on time with their grandchildren or the ability to travel because their health just won't allow for it. So this is really no longer just aesthetics. This is a health crisis, and we are all part of it. Now, why is this happening? Okay, there's a lot of reasons, but here's a simple way to think about it. Because our modern lifestyle, especially in the United States, is actually working against our biology. You see, we live in a system that rewards convenience over health and nutrition, that encourages sitting over movement, that promotes ultra-processed foods as healthy, and that treats illness only after it appears. So it's obviously no surprise that a lot of people feel stuck. And this is what I spend my career doing every day. I talk to my patients, my clients, people online like you who are telling me you guys are frustrated and fed up. Now, what's behind all of this stuckness is something that I've liked to frame as 5 hidden enemies. And these tend to keep people feeling trapped. So let's break them down. The first hidden enemy is a reactive healthcare system. Yes, I am part of the healthcare system as a medical physician, but I also recognize that there's a lot of room for improvement here. We unfortunately have structured medicine to be in a way that waits until you're sick or you're having a problem instead of anticipating a problem you might have later down the line and doing everything possible to prevent it. Then other problems. We have our misinformation, what I like to think of as an epidemic. It seems like there's every expert every day saying something different and you get confused, myself included. And then we have what I like to call the convenience culture. We obviously are all sitting too much. We're moving too little, and we live very disconnected from our food. A lot of us don't even know how our food is produced, and we don't ever see a farm, and we don't know our farmers. So this is a challenge for sure. And then we have what I like to think of as food addiction by design. This is the modern food industry that obviously engineers food and food products to be sweet and savory and delicious with lots of sugar, salt, oils, chemicals to help us crave them more so that we keep coming back to them. And some of us get really addicted to them. And then we have what I like to think of as our hijacked body signals. All the types of processed chemicals that we eat and the way we live with all of our distractions is really sabotaging our hunger, satiety, and energy cues so that they're either no longer working or we're so out of tune with them that we don't know how to tap in. Okay, so before I walk you through how to start overcoming these 5 hidden enemies with the 4 core steps of my method, I do want to say this. If any of you have been feeling like you're stuck, and if what I am saying is resonating with you, and you are thinking and feeling like, oh, someone is finally naming what's actually going on, then I really want to invite you to take part of my private community called Take Back Your Life. It is where I guide folks like you step by step through my health frameworks so that you can stay on target every single week. You see, I've helped build a space that is supportive, structured, and rooted in real science. And I avoid things like super extreme approaches or quick fixes because I know those don't work for you long term. So I'm not going to waste your time with them. Now, you can learn more in the link in the description below. If you're looking for that ongoing support and you want help applying change to your health because you know it's time to make moves, I encourage you to join us. The folks inside our community are fabulous. They are so supportive with each other. I can see that people are forging like deep bonds and friendships now, and it's honestly a beautiful thing, and I don't want you to miss out on this incredible opportunity. Okay, now, here's the key idea that most people miss. If the problem with all of our health and all of the challenge people face now is rooted in our lifestyle, then I'd argue the solution also has to come from our lifestyle too. Now, unfortunately, most of the time, when you go to the doctor, you may be told you need to eat better, you need to move more, get more exercise, 150 minutes of cardiovascular exercise a week. Reduce your stress, work on getting better sleep. Like you're told all these things and it gets repetitive and you walk away with a medical prescription for more pills or two. And then you're not really given good guidance for how to actually implement all of that lifestyle advice you were just given. So this is obviously an issue. What happens? You end up feeling like all the doctor did was put you on more pills because in a certain way, that is actually what happened. And like you, I've been very fed up with this cycle. So that is why I built my process around 4 core steps, which we are now going to walk through one by one so you can start taking action immediately. So step number 1. Step number 1 is to learn to recognize what good food is, meaning food that's good for your body. This step is the absolute foundation of everything else. So if you don't know what you're actually putting into your body, you obviously can't expect to get any real results. Now, the way I like to teach this is a very clear and practical distinction. So we're going to break it down into 3 groups. Good food. What is good food? It is real, whole, unprocessed food that nourishes your body and it contains the nutrients your body needs to thrive. What is bad food? Bad food is this ultra-processed, industrially produced food product that's filled with tons of additives, refined ingredients, oils, sugars, flavorings, chemicals, etc. And it's food that has been so engineered and manipulated that it doesn't even resemble the ingredients it originally came from, okay? Those are 2 pretty clearly distinct and easy to understand groups. What's the third group? The third group of food is what I like to call the gray zone or the middle zone food. Now, this is tricky, and this is where a lot of people get tripped up. This is food that seems healthy because it often has a lot of marketing around it, but actually it still contains harmful ingredients or chemicals. And often these are foods that are really meant to give you some specific health benefit, but then unfortunately, they're just not pure and innocent. So these are the 3 categories. And the first thing I like to teach my clients is usually how to read food labels to help identify like which category the food you're looking at falls into. And it's not that hard, but it does take some practice. So when you learn how to read the labels, you're able to cut through all the noise from that marketing and you can decide for yourself what you're looking at. Are you looking at a good food, a bad food, or a gray zone food? Now, I like to give people the tools to walk into the grocery store and make confident decisions on their own. That's why I take the time to teach these skills in my private community. Because you know it's probably something you've run into before. The goal is not necessarily to be perfect. It's about having clarity to be able to make the right choices for yourself. And once you can tell the difference, you really will start seeing your pantry, your fridge, your daily choices in a completely different way, okay? So that was step 1. Then we move on to step number 2 of this core process. And that's to build balanced meals using my framework, the perfect meal formula. Now, after recognizing good food, the next step is really knowing how to use it. And I know we mentioned this in the beginning, but the Mediterranean diet and lifestyle is really rooted in this. Even if you eat healthy foods, if you're not combining them in the right way into the meals that are actually going to satisfy you and give you health benefit, you're still going to struggle with things like energy crashes, cravings, or weight loss that's not actually happening. So this is where I like to teach the Mediterranean eating approach with my perfect meal formula because it makes it really simple for how to build these meals that are satisfying, blood sugar stabilizing, and supportive of long-term weight loss. Now, every balanced meal should include 3 components. Should include protein, which is important for muscle support, satiety, and your metabolism. It should include fiber. This can come from whole form vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes. This is that bulky component of food that helps aid our digestion and it supports our gut health, by feeding the bacteria that live in our gut. And then we need healthy fats. And this is to stabilize our energy, give us support for our hormonal balance. When you use the perfect meal formula rooted in these three components, which I've also called the healthy trifecta, if you see other videos of mine where I call it that, this formula gives you freedom. And it's not about tracking or counting. It's just about building the habit of balance meal after meal. So now we're at step number 3. Step number 3 is to understand hunger versus just the desire to eat. So let's break this down. What I would argue is one of the most overlooked skills when it comes to eating and understanding the difference between real physical hunger and the desire to eat is this. Real hunger comes from the body. It's true hunger sent by hormone signals from your gastrointestinal tract to your brain. And it usually builds gradually. It feels physical. You have maybe a feeling in your body, in your abdomen, your belly. It signals a real need for nourishment. Alternatively, the desire to eat comes from the brain first, and it's usually triggered by emotions, boredom, stress, even just the sight and the smell of food. I think all of you know what I'm talking about because we've all had this experience at some point in time. When you don't know the difference between true hunger and the desire to eat, it's really easy to overeat, to snack mindlessly, and just feel totally out of control around food. Now, inside my method, I like to teach clients how to tune into their physical hunger signals, how to recognize emotional or habitual eating patterns, how to know when it's time to eat, and just as importantly, when it's time to stop. We also work on how to stop eating at the right time, and this is so crucial. Because even if you're eating the right foods in the right combination, you've found out the foods that are good, you know how to build your perfect meal formula of meals. If you're eating beyond fullness, you're still going to be stuck, especially if your goal is weight loss. Now, reconnecting with your body, in turn, is one of the most powerful things you can do for your weight and your metabolism and your relationship with food. So it's fundamental to understand how to do this properly, and it's something I teach very well inside my program. We dig very deep into this topic. Okay, that was steps 1, 2, and 3. Now let's talk about step number 4, which is to create social connection around food. Now, this is the Mediterranean hallmark secret that not enough people are emphasizing. The Mediterranean diet, I like to think of it as a misnomer because it's really not a diet. It is a lifestyle approach. That's why the term Mediterranean lifestyle, I think, is much more fitting. Now, in places that, for example, I've lived in Italy and in other regions around the Mediterranean, in Greece, Spain, North Africa, some of the islands, food is rarely a solo activity. Usually it's communal, it's a ritual, it's something joyful, it's something celebrated. And it's not just about having fun, it actually has real health impact when food and meals are taken this way. Because eating with others is going to help you slow down. It'll help you chew more and slowly, which in turn helps improve your digestion. It also helps you be more mindful and intentional. And you're going to feel emotionally nourished and fulfilled through a really stimulating dinner table conversation, for example. So it's not just about physical nourishment. Your meals should also fill up your cup, your emotional cup, so to speak. Now, I like to guide my clients to create really simple routines around this to help them implement this tactic. For example, having weekly shared meals with a family, a friend, a neighbor, having a phone-free dinner where you just put the technology away and just focus on what's in front of you. Maybe play some soft music in the background to really tune in. And then involving loved ones in cooking and the preparation as well is a big part of this. Because when food becomes a shared experience, it will transform how you relate to it. And it naturally leads you to making better choices. So these are just the tip of the iceberg, each of these core steps that I teach inside my private community. And if this is resonating with you and you're thinking this is the stuff I've been looking for, something sustainable, something approachable, if you're tired of all these extreme diets and these hacks that are constantly being sold to us, all the confusion and the one-size-fits-all advice that you know doesn't work because you've already tried it, then I really invite you to join us inside the community. Take back your life. You will find a link below in the description for how you can get involved and with more information. Now, we don't chase quick fixes in this group. We build the sustainable changes that are really the things you need to actually achieve your goals in your health. And I would just love for you to be able to finally take back control of your health, your weight, and your future. That's why I call the group Take Back Your Life, because it's really about taking control of your life. And if you're interested in getting a little bit more on the details of the core steps, then I have the next video here where I'm going to go over much more learning about the different food groups. We're going to dive much deeper into each of these topics. This video is just the first overview video for all the other information I'm about to give you. So when you're ready, jump into that video and I'll see you over there.